to Neon Express entry. NQCIS has the answers. Northern Quest, Canadian Immigration Services.
Visit their website today, northernquest.ca, or better call them now at 647-302-3508.
NQCIS, your reliable partner to your bright future in Canada. In the spirit of the celebration of Canada's 150th birthday, Media Concept Broadcasting Network Incorporated, PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV showers you with limited edition souvenirs. Your station is giving away 150 items free. Cool shirts from PinoyRadio.com and Crosswave Radio and MCBN TV mugs. From July 1st until December 31st. Simply tune in to our programs in any of our MCBN stations. When and how? Kinig na kabayan. PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV. Tutok na, nood na. All these for you. Our way of saying happy 150th Canada at sa mga tumatangkilik ng MCBN stations. Thank you, our dear listeners and viewers.
Off my shoes, turn Pinoy Radio on. Few moments later and my favorite song comes on. I'm feeling happy, dance to the beat. Filipino music makes me feel free. The music touches my soul, makes me feel high. I'm loving life, proud to be Pinay. There's no other place that makes me feel home than tuning into PinoyRadio.com. This is the music of my life, fills me with love and so much pride. PinoyRadio.com. Just log in.
We would like to express that the opinions, views, comments, and suggestions of the host in this program are purely their own and do not reflect those of Pinoy Radio. Emanating from MCBN Broadcast Center, your all-Filipino radio, PinoyRadio.com. PinoyRadio.com. This year, we'll never get short of surprises. In fact, we step up the game. Hashtag Level Up Goals. The finest hits, outstanding shows, remarkable events. Media Concept Broadcasting Network Incorporated. This is PinoyRadio.com. Love it. Thinking of selling your house or buying one in Canada? Our program will assist you in realizing your dream home in 60 minutes. Property Talk. Property Talk with Gizelle Mirasol, with the help of satisfied clients, live personal testimonies, and how it changed their lives. That and more in Property Talk. Sundays at 12 noon Eastern Time on Pinoy Radio. PinoyRadio.com. Hosted by Gizelle Mirasol, together with her remarkable guests who knows exactly how it's done. Property Talk. Your dream home awaits.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mga kababayan, and welcome to another episode of Property Talks with Gizelle Mirasol. Happy Canada Day, everybody.
Happy Canada Day.
There you go. Hi, Ryan. How are you today?
I'm good.
That's great. So that's our technician, DJ Ryan. Welcome. Happy Canada Day to you. And of course, I have a very special guest today. And today, guys, it's one of the episodes that you would like to listen to, because we are going to talk all about commercial real estate. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you to my commercial partner. Please welcome Azar Khan. Hey, Azar.
Hi. Hey, Gizelle. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you again for having me.
Happy Canada Day to you.
Happy Canada to everybody, all the listeners.
That's right. So everybody, we have actually listeners around the world listening on PinoyRadio.com and watching us online through Facebook Live. Actually, DJ Ryan can tell us more about all of our social media networks as well. So we are live on Periscope,
Dailymotion, YouTube, PinoyRadio.com, MCBN.tv, Twitter via Periscope, that's it. I think, yeah.
Yeah, and so much more. So so it's great. So everybody's listening to you today, Azar.
Oh, that's great. Exciting.
That's good. So how's your Canada Day so far?
Oh, it's amazing, fabulous. You know, it's family time, so when weather was helpful as well. So it
That's
was
great.
fun.
And did you watch the fireworks yesterday?
Oh yes, it was amazing. Yeah.
That's good.
How about you?
Oh, it was really good. Same thing with me. You know, I had the chance to go to the park, enjoy the fireworks. There was fireworks all over the city as well, right?
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
so on my Remax page on Facebook, Gizelle Mirasol Remax Realtor, I actually shared some of the free events that we had for Canada Day. And at Nathan Phillips Square, if anybody's listening, they do have festivities as well till tomorrow for Canada Day. So fireworks as well, right? So, and we have that big rubber ducky downtown, right?
I know, it's beautiful.
It's the talk of the town of the world's largest rubber ducky, which cost the province $200,000. Yeah, but we won't talk about that, right?
Absolutely.
So we'll just talk about how amazing it is. You know, we're here and we are proud Canadians. So it's amazing how we have the opportunity to pretty much live in this beautiful country of ours, right, Azar?
Absolutely, beautiful country. It's just heaven on earth.
Exactly.
Yeah? And we are the lucky ones.
We are the lucky ones, and you know, so we are happy to be in Canada and proud to be Canadian.
Absolutely.
So sa ating mga kababayan sa Pilipinas and all over the world, just to let you know, yesterday, July 1st, we celebrated Canada's 150th birthday, basically here. So 150th since the Confederation, so which is great. But today on Property Talks, of course, we have to talk about real estate, right?
Real estate, yes.
It's all about real estate here. But just to give everybody a quick overview of what's happening today, we will talk about pretty much leasing and potentially if you have your own business and you want to own your own space, your own commercial property, Azar and I will definitely talk to you about that.
Absolutely,
okay.
yeah.
And also at the same time, at the end of the show, we have our famous celebrity homes. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know who our celebrity is for today. All right.
That's nice.
Okay. So why don't we start off? So Azar, okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about commercial real estate.
Commercial. Again, thank you again for having me.
Well, thank you for being
and
here.
again, as you introduced, I'm Azar Khan. We work together in commercial division for Remax.
Yeah.
And as for commercial, it's a little bit different than residential. It
Yes.
comes, there is a lot of different components to the commercial real estate. As you mentioned, that somebody is going to open a new business, want to lease a property, there are few requirements to get that lease place up and running.
That's great.
Yeah. And then other than that, we do have brokerages in terms of financing as well. So we help on that end as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to all of our listeners, right? Like it's almost like a one-stop shop.
Absolutely,
So if you're not
absolutely.
sure what to do and you have a new business, so actually a lot of our we call it kababayans, which is our fellow Filipinos.
Yeah,
Okay, pretty much. A lot of people are interested in having their own business,
Absolutely.
especially within the Filipino community, whether you're in Philtown at Bathurst and Wilson area, starting your own Filipino store or remittance or whatever it is, right?
Absolutely. I know.
And definitely Azar knows all about
Oh,
that.
yes.
But why don't we start off first with the leasing part?
Leasing,
Okay?
okay.
So let's say we have. I always love to use Ryan here
I
as an
know.
excuse. He's a man of all trades, right? No, it's an example, not an excuse. So with Ryan here, let's say Ryan, started to inquire about, I want to start my own shop, whatever shop that is, right?
Absolutely.
And this is the location in Toronto that I want. So I'm going to let Azar take, the microphone from this point, and maybe you can let Ryan know and the rest of our listeners to tell them how to open their own business.
So Ryan and Enterprises opening now.
That's right.
All right. So once Ryan decided to open, let's say, for example, a restaurant. I'm just
Okay.
taking an example of restaurant. So the first step is that we always recommend that to have a solid business plan, minimum 5 years. So exactly how much financing you have, what kind of financing you're looking for, what kind of community. Again, here we are talking about our own community, so you're serving that. And then again, you have to do a little bit further look into the area, collect the stats. So business plan is the key and backbone of any business to begin with. First step. The second step, what we do is that in a lease requirement, every landlord is different. So it depends where exactly the location is. If a landlord is open for your business to be operated in particular plaza, so we have to do that due diligence in terms of finding out from the landlord ahead of time, so then we can start putting that effort into it, making the plans and everything.
Exactly.
Right?
So you might. So what Azra is saying is, you might have, a desired location or a plaza that you want to open your business, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the landlord will allow the type of business in that plaza.
Absolutely.
Sometimes there might be restrictions, as if let's just give, for example, if there was already a pharmaceutical company already in the plaza, they might have a clause in their agreement that nobody else can open another pharmaceutical company within the same plaza. So there are restrictions, and that's where we can definitely assist you. So please go ahead, Azra.
Yeah, so that's the main thing, and as you said, that there is already they have exclusive right for that particular business. So that what we have to find out first. And then business plan is the second, then looking into the financing, that how much money in hand, because the commercial financing depends what kind of business you are starting. Not all the financial institutions are open to lend money for the business.
Exactly, especially if you're new and you've never had a business before, right?
Yeah.
So you're pretty much going to the bank and say, I want to start a restaurant. And of course the bank will, will want to know more information about your financing. Maybe can you elaborate more about the business, the 5-year plan, just to give a brief example to our listeners?
There are, as Gizelle, you mentioned that we are one-stop shopping, so we do have our CAs and chartered accountant. They make business plan according to your plan in terms of what exactly your revenue goal is, what exactly you're looking into yourself after 5 years, how much money you have in hand, because that business plan is going to sell to the bank and to the landlord, because that document is the most important document of starting any business.
Exactly.
Because which elaborate everything, what kind of food, or for example, you're going to be serving, what is the margin on that food, how much inventory, how much staff, everything is complete financial statement what you are going to present to the bank to lend the money.
Exactly.
Right? So that's what the business plan. Plus, there is a lot of more.
There's a lot more in the middle, but we're just going to give everybody general idea, right? Just to give you an example. We know what potentially what the banks are looking for. Okay, and please go ahead, Azra.
Yeah. So then after that, the financing part comes, and as I mentioned, that normally banks are a little bit different lending. So in those cases, we have different options. Sometime if it's a running business you're buying, a restaurant is running and you're planning to change that into something else, but keeping it as a restaurant, sometime the current owner sometime lends you money. It's called vendor take back mortgage, which is most common in commercial, because banks sometimes don't touch and don't give you money, for instance, but there is other sources you lend from the current owner instead of. So there is option. The financing part is the first one. Then after that, we again, you look at the property, you look at the square footage and so forth, and then you look into what kind of leasehold improvement you're going to do in terms of how much money you're going to spend inside.
Yes.
Because for that,
So sorry, let's elaborate on the leasehold improvements to our listeners.
Okay. Absolutely. So leasehold improvement is like, for example, as we are talking about Ryan's restaurant.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. So there is chairs, there is a flooring need to be done. So if the unit you're renting or leasing is a shell, so you need a lot of money to basically bring up to the restaurant level.
To at par of what you need, like sinks and you need to have your stove, right? Like proper washrooms.
Absolutely. And then there is the kitchen requirement and canopy and all those things what you mentioned to make a kitchen, then the serving space. So these things you have to, and these are also part of the business plan where you check, consult with contractors, give them the square footage, so then you know. Because any business you want to get in before, you should know everything in terms of what money-wise you have in pocket and how much you need to borrow.
Exactly.
So these things are very important in business, because again, you're not going to living in it. You're starting a business to make money.
Exactly.
So these things need to be done before you start any business.
That's right. So that's why, and this is where we prep everybody way ahead of time, right?
Oh yes, for sure. Because again, it's their livelihood. It's not their living and going to work. This is a work.
Yes.
So when you start a work, you gotta know exactly where you are and what you're bringing back to the family, right?
Exactly.
You gotta know.
Okay.
And then the second step after that, once you have the business plan, you did the financing, secure everything, then we prepare to present an offer because we already did our due diligence with the landlord. Landlord is okay to let us open a Ryan restaurant.
Yes.
So here we go now. And then we prepare the lease papers. We put all the clauses. We consult our lawyer at some point. And then mostly the lease agreement is on the landlord form. Those are standard lease agreement.
Yep.
They have it through their lawyers. So we send them an offer. Whatever the square footage is, it just depends because lease is always square footage plus TMI.
Yeah, so
It's always.
to explain everybody what TMI is. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're going taxes.
Yeah, taxes, maintenance, and insurance. So basically, those component is always the same amount for entire plaza in particular location.
Yeah.
So it differ to differ.
So let's just to give everybody an example. Let's say just a number out of top of my head. Let's say it's $20 per square feet. Okay,
Absolutely, yeah.
and we're looking at, let's make it simple for everybody. Let's say it's 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna let Azhar do all the calculation, and he'll explain to you how TMI works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, if it's a $20 is the per square footage for the area, plus let's say $10 is TMI. So all together, then per square footage, $30.
Yes.
And then if you have 1,000 square feet, means that you're looking at $30,000 a year. Then you divide that into 12 months, you're looking at around $2,500 a month. Out of that, TMI is paid, but again, remember that is tax, insurance, and your maintenance, which basically you are filing as an expense end of the day, but that always comes together and you have to pay every month.
Exactly. So you pay it ahead of time, but definitely you can expense that later on.
Yeah,
Right?
every
With
month
any
you
business.
pay. Yeah, you pay every month, and TMI always is mostly 100% is the same as your neighbor because that is that particular plaza's tax, maintenance, and insurance.
Yeah, so it's whatever the standard is for that
exactly,
plaza.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
great. So so that will give everybody a better idea, okay, of what that is. And at the same time, with regards to the leasing part, there is certain number of years for commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, now once we set up everything in terms of business plans and everything, now we come to the term. And as I mentioned in the business plan, that okay, if you have a 5+5+5 plan, again, not every business is successful. We start the business to be a successful, but you never know what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
So sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
so
please.
let's explain 5+5, for example, plan.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, 5 year. Let's say if you begin with 5 year.
5-year lease that we're
5-year
leasing.
lease, but I always recommend to have an option to extend 5 year. So 5-year lease means that you are committed for that 5-year period.
Yeah, at that
Doesn't
plaza.
matter. Yeah,
Yes.
that plaza. Doesn't matter if your business becomes successful or not.
You're still
you are
responsible.
still responsible for that 5 year. But what happened in the business is, for instance, if the business go bad in 2 years, at that time then if the landlord is able to find anybody, then
another
you're
tenant.
off that hook then because they already find somebody. But if they don't find anybody for the remaining term, then you stay on hook for the commitment you did.
Exactly.
And same thing, your business is successful, you're amazing, Ryan restaurant is running good, and then what happened after 5 years, if you don't have an option of extending 5 years, then you have to renegotiate the entire lease again with the landlord.
Yes.
Now what happened is that, as I said,
And if they're willing to renew, right?
Absolutely.
They might
So-
not be willing
yeah.
to renew that space, and then you've
Absolutely.
already established your business at this
Yes.
location.
Yes.
Now you have to find another location. So
Yeah.
you have your clientele there and
Yeah.
everything else. So what Azhar is saying is having that additional 5+ option pretty much gives you
that
gives you an
guarantee that,
advantage.
Yeah, advantage that landlord have to give you next 5 year because he initially agreed to it.
Yes.
So now that's why it's, and then again, after 5 years, you don't walk away. You don't have to worry about it because you don't have a solid commitment.
Exactly.
there.
But at least what we're doing is we're protecting you, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
we're starting this business with the hopes that your business will
Yeah,
prosper,
absolutely,
right?
yeah.
And once it's definitely prosper and you're successful with your Ryan's business, right,
Yeah.
Ryan?
Ryan Restaurant.
Ryan's restaurant, right? We're gonna go eat there afterwards.
Yes.
Ryan's restaurant. Then you do have the option of extending it, and potentially, now you're at 10 years, for example,
Absolutely,
at
yeah.
that location.
And again, you're looking at with restaurant and everything. Every business is, as you know, it's not a first day you just be successful.
Exactly.
Business takes a slow and steady.
It takes some time, like with
Sometimes, yeah.
everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes, but again, so these are the basic thing. And before even preparing, as a Gizelle, when you anybody is planning to start in business, there is a lot of other things also they have to know, which is very very. It's a lot of different things which we explain it to them. So better is that whenever you guys are planning, then contact her, Gizelle and me, and then
we'll
take
meet
it.
Azar and I will
definitely,
meet you,
yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then we'll go from there.
Oh,
But just to give everybody a timeline, it's not the same as residential real estate where, you look for a house, you find a house, you like something. It's not as quick.
No.
There is definitely a little bit more of a process, and it
Absolutely.
does take a little longer for commercial real estate to be
Absolutely.
processed, right? But
Absolutely.
it can also mean that even if you do get that Ryan's restaurant, it might take some time to actually fix everything and to
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
make sure that you have all of the you want to decorate it or
Absolutely,
have the floor, have everything set up the way you need it for your business.
Absolutely.
So there might be 3 months of renovations, for example,
yeah.
within that time frame. So we do negotiate all of that with regards to the term. For example, you might not have to pay for those first couple of months,
Yeah,
right, Azar?
Yeah, absolutely. There is, again, it just depends on location, as we say always in real estate, location.
That's
So
right.
landlord knows that where landlord plaza is and what kind of location they have. Always negotiate. That's why we came along with you to negotiate and advise you the best possibility what we can get out of the landlord. So there is no standard clauses in term of that landlord have to, but if you present your business plan in term of you are putting extensive, let's say $100,000 renovation, that is gonna take a time consume around 3 months.
Exactly.
So we try to negotiate that 3 months rent off, so that at least that you're off of that 3 month rent hook.
Yes.
And you can do your renovation. And time is an asset again in
In
any
business, yes,
yes.
exactly. And but it doesn't mean that you are, for example, if we were able to negotiate the rent for
Rent,
that
yeah.
month, you're still paying for the TMI.
TMI, yes.
Okay.
Taxes
Taxes
we
is
gotta
taxes.
pay Big Brother
We're in
all the
Canada,
time.
right?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, taxes are always. So as we said, that $20 was the main price
That's
per
right.
square footage, but $10 was TMI. So you're only paying that $10.
The $10 every month.
$10. $1,000 because it was square footage.
That's right.
So $1,000
Every month.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
So a lot of information, great information today, and as you can see, we're almost halfway through our show already,
Yeah,
Azar.
wow.
The time
That
flies,
time
right?
flies.
That's
lot,
right.
Lot to talk about.
Lots
Real
to talk
estate
about.
Is amazing.
It is, and that's why we're in that business,
Yes,
right?
we
And we do have
are,
this
yeah.
public service to explain to everybody and
Absolutely.
give you more information how it normally works. But before we go on a commercial break, we just want to say hello to Naina from New Plaza Motel. Hi, Naina. How are you doing today? Thanks again for listening. So we'll be right back in a couple of minutes, and this is again Property Talks with Gizelle Mirasol.
Property Talk. We'll be right back after some words from our friends. Are you selling your home or buying one? Gee, you need help. Fast. Call 416-684-6442. Talk about mortgages, real estate, and everything along that line? Gee, you gotta have assistance. Call direct. 416-684-6442. Still bothered by a lot of questions? You need G. Call her now. 416-684-6442. And look for Gizelle, your reliable realtor. Her name is synonymous to acquiring your dream home fast. Selling? It's still her. Gizelle. Gizelle Mirasol of Remax Realty, Kingston Road, Ontario. Send your inquiries to Gizelle Mirasol at gmail.com. That's GIZELEMIRASOL@gmail.com.
Ang Rouge Valley Mitsubishi ay masayang magdiriwang ng ika-100 taon anibersaryo. 0% lease or finance hanggang 84 months sa mga piling modelo. Di mo kailangang magbayad sa unang 2 buwan. Mabilis na credit approval. Bumisita sa RougeValleyMitsubishi.ca ngayon.
Welcome to comfort. Welcome to Scarborough's way of accommodation. Welcome to New Plaza Motel. Conveniently situated just outside the hustle and bustle of downtown Toronto. You can truly enjoy your stay with our capable staff at your service round the clock. Check-ins at 3 p.m. and checkouts at 11 a.m. All rooms are equipped with cable, air conditioning, microwave, fridge, telephone with free local calls, and your own desk. For additional details and other concerns, visit our website at www.newplazamotel.ca or call 416-284-9966. New Plaza Motel, 4584 Kingston Road, Toronto.
What's the purpose of your visit? Do you intend to stay long?
Questions. A lot of questions.
So, what's your concern? Do you have issues on student visa or super visa?
I want to know about family sponsorship.
Business immigration?
How about caregiver programs?
Self-employed class?
Tell me more on PR and citizenship applications.
Skilled and temporary workers?
Please enlighten me on express entry. NQCIS has the answers. Northern Quest, Canadian Immigration Services.
Visit their website today, northernquest.ca, or better call them now at 647-302-3508.
NQCIS, your reliable partner to your bright future in Canada. In the spirit of the celebration of Canada's 150th birthday, Media Concept Broadcasting Network Incorporated, PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV showers you with limited edition souvenirs. Your station is giving away 150 items free. Cool shirts from PinoyRadio.com and Crosswave Radio and MCBN TV mugs. From July 1st until December 31st. Simply tune in to our programs in any of our MCBN stations. When and how? Kinig na kabayan. PinoyRadio.com, Crosswave Radio, and MCBN TV. Tutok na, nood na. All these for you. Our way of saying happy 150th Canada at sa mga tumatangkilik ng MCBN stations. Thank you, our dear listeners and viewers. Time for more informative discussions with our amazing speakers on Property Talk.
And welcome back again to Property Talks with Gizelle Mirasol with my special guest, my commercial partner, Azhar Khan.
Hello again.
Hello again, Azhar. So just before the commercial break, we briefly talked about what is normally required or the process when it comes to leasing. Okay, so whether you're starting off your new business or you already have an existing one, what does it entail? The whole process of renting. Okay, all right. So did you want to quickly wrap that up, and then maybe we'll talk about the purchasing?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I'm just going to wrap up quickly about leasing. Requirement comes with your business plan, and then the location. After that, we go through the landlord process. We do negotiate the lease, and there are two components to the lease. One is the square footage plus the tax, maintenance, and insurance. And again, if you guys need more detail, you contact us, Gizelle and me, and then we'll go over everything.
Perfect. All right. So that's great. Lots of information. So now let's talk about purchasing. So we have Ryan's restaurant or any other business now is very, very successful and pretty much said, Gizelle and Azhar, now I want to own my own building or my own space. Yeah. What do we need?
Yeah, absolutely.
Money.
You got it. Dollars.
Money is always definitely a must, right?
Absolutely.
But there's more into that. So I will let Azhar tell us all about it. Please go ahead, Azhar.
No, thanks again. So this is also very important, as Gizelle said. Now the restaurant is successful. Restaurant don't want to pay landlord mortgage anymore. They already paid their share, so now they're open to buy a place and open, let's say, their restaurant.
Yes.
So again, location, to find that particular location, because again, their restaurant is in that particular plaza. So first of all, not every plaza is for sale. So we contact that landlord again for them in terms of, because that's the most easiest sale can be, that if landlord decided to sell it, but remember why that landlord is going to sell. Because
so we have to look into
money.
that. Yes.
He is making money. So again, there is some incentives in terms of, for example, now it's a new business somebody want to open or franchise out, and they are already successful. And they want to buy their own space in, let's say, 2 or 5 or 10 kilometers from east west, wherever their main location is. So again, the requirement is the zoning, the first thing. Finance, as Ryan said, dollar is the main thing.
That's
so
right.
you do, again, in these kind of buying, because now you are going to buy a property. So property value and these things, normally you're looking at 35%, between 25 and 35%. Again, it depends on a lot of other factors, your previous record. So you've already been running business for that long. For instance, let's say if you're not running, so then what bank is looking at is that your net worth. So how much money you have at that time. Then the good thing is that most of our property values are gone so up since people bought it in 4 or 5 years. So they're sitting on a lot of equity. So sometimes they can utilize that equity
From their
against
current home.
current home to open their business or purchasing a new business location. And then again, same thing comes, their city requirements are there. So for example, if Ryan decided, okay, I'm already done with the restaurant, now I'm opening something else, and let's say he's opening a auto mechanic shop.
Sure.
So an auto mechanic shop have a lot of different zoning requirement, because you are using you're disposing a lot of oil and everything, so soil test and a lot of environmental, exactly. So it always, when you're purchasing for a business, the main thing where we come is that we go to the city and get all the required information before even we begin with, because we don't want our clients to go and we search the property and now we go other way around. So we try to first find out in that particular city what are the requirements, then in that particular road or plaza what are the requirements, and then we go next step one by one.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's the same thing is, sometimes I get a lot of questions and say, look, I have a home here on this street and I want to turn it into a business.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. We
You get
heard
that.
this all the time.
You get that all the time as well, right?
Yeah.
And what do we tell them?
Again, it's sometimes people, because again, 10, 15 years ago, those streets were dead streets, and now those are commercial streets. And
Exactly.
people want to change.
Or
their,
mix residential and commercial on
absolutely.
certain streets, right?
Absolutely. Again, it depends on the zoning of that particular property. If that property is residential only, so then there is a very long process to change that residential into another zoning, right? Some residential also in cities comes with a home office where not too much retail activities, but it's at least, because if you are, let's say, on the main road, you're on Keel, for example, right? So there are some places on Keel Street you're allowed to use as a, let's say, a tax office or just one office, but not too much of a commercial retail.
You can do like a mix, residential and mixed
Exactly.
commercial at that particular.
But always it depends on that particular property address, what the zoning is. And to change zoning, it's a very long process. And to doing that illegally and not knowing it, then it can come with a big penalty. But
That's
again,
right.
remember, if somebody is buying a property, for example, and that property is residential and commercial right now, somebody is using it, probably that property have only zoning as a residential, but that particular owner already been using for 20 years that as a commercial on the side, so that kicks in grandfather clause. So if you take over and continues the same thing, nobody can touch you.
Exactly.
But if you want to start from beginning and change into something, that comes with different requirements, and then it is, again, as I said, it's a long process, but everything is doable. It just depends what business you are planning to start in that particular.
Maybe if you want to have like your own garage shop, beside your home, that might take
it can be a big challenge, because
exactly.
Again,
bit difficult, but otherwise, if you're trying to have your own, spa place, within your residential, I mean, definitely there
it's
are
doable, but again, it's just you have to follow the city bylaws, because you don't want to be a person, because what happens is that your neighbors are the one, when they say a lot of traffic and stuff, it can create problem for you. So better to be due diligence ahead of time, spending money into something.
Exactly.
Right.
And then the reason why Azra and I are here is because we want to make sure that we have the proper clauses and conditions, and we are checking everything for you, right? Before you even start your business, because the last thing we want is you start this whole business, you have this beautiful grand opening, and a week later your neighbors are complaining. The city, tries to come in and say this is not really a legal, a legal zoning, and So that's why we are here today. Okay, that's great. So go ahead, Azar. Sorry.
So again, as I said, so the purchase is same as residential, but in commercial there's a lot of other things come in. The down payment is always more, and the interest rate of commercial is more than the residential on the mortgages. So that's why you have to be per month payments can be more, right, as compared. So those things you have to look at it again before you're planning to purchase any business. And we comes again here. We have one window operation. We have commercial lenders as well. We have private lenders.
Yes.
So,
So depending on your financial,
exactly,
depending on your credit, everything else. I
Absolutely,
mean, we will definitely provide options on what is best for you.
Absolutely, yeah. And then again, a lot of people again nowadays thinking about purchasing their own in terms of paying somebody else rent, basically mortgage, because then they are satisfied, nobody can kick them out, this is their own place.
Yeah.
And it is also, if somebody is a successful, let's say running a spa at home, in the basement, and they're very successful now, they want to go out, expand and explore the world. This is the time, because you are in a business already, you have your clientele, just you need that commercial location, better go for it and buy it. Right, and they again, it just depends. It depends from 300,000 to 700,000. It just depends what location you're looking for. Again, we are going back to location. Real estate,
the three L's in real estate, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. So Ryan, so if you ever your business and you want to start opening a restaurant again,
here we are.
Here we are. There you go. So that is basically our commercial real estate. So for the process that it can normally take, maybe you can give people a timeline. It's different for every individual.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because it as you mentioned in the past, that it's not residential, it's commercial. You're dealing with city, you're dealing with landlord, you're dealing with a lot of other entities. And same thing, the banks also take longer. Banks can take up to 20 to 25 business days to get back to you with reviewing your business plan.
And that's already that's 1 month.
Exactly. It's not all the time. Bank can get back to you in 10 days, business days.
But that's just the average.
Average. Yeah. So again, when, for example, if somebody is planning to open the grand opening in April, they should start process somewhere in October time. So they have enough time to do everything, papers plus the leasehold improvement. So that's what you're looking at, around 2.5 months to get everything in order in terms of going and occupying the place, right?
Exactly.
It can be faster too. Again, it depends on landlord, depend on how much, again, Ryan, money.
And maybe you want to renovate too. I mean, we have to take all of that into consideration before you start inviting us to your opening, right?
Absolutely. We eat that delicious Ryan restaurant recipe. So,
Exactly. So that's basically our information regarding commercials. So whether you're starting off or whatever business it is, it can be as common as a restaurant. And let's talk about franchises.
Oh yeah, yes. Franchises, again, franchises are a little bit different because every franchisee have their own requirement. Those are a little bit easier because franchisee normally deal directly with the landlord. So here we basically negotiate the best possible price with percent what the franchise is going to take from you in terms of the services, right? And the rest,
because you're sharing it with
so you're paying 40 cents off a dollar maybe to the franchisee. You're opening Popeyes and you're opening Pizza. Here we go, we get you the Pizza, but again, you are dealing, means that your lawyer is dealing directly with Pizza, and Pizza
and they have their own rules and regulations and the way how they want to run the business, right? So it's a little different. But the good thing about that is you're already purchasing the name, right? You don't have to worry about marketing and advertising because once you say Pizza, for example, or Popeyes, it's already a benefit, right? People already know what you're offering.
Absolutely, and it's all different. What you are comfortable. Again, I'm going back to the business plan. What is your future plan? That what comes, right? If you want to be a part of a big franchise and work like that, or you want to make your own name, a Ryan restaurant from the beginning. And here we go. It just depends what your 5-year, 10-year plans are, and we are here to help.
And the good thing about this is, so again, my commercial partner here, Azar, he's actually already you've had some franchises in the past as well, so he's had a lot of experience when it comes to the franchises and even owning businesses aside from the real estate world, right? Like, I mean, we definitely have other investments other than the residential real estate. So
absolutely, yeah. So again, I'm going back now more for the last 5 years or so. The trend again with businesses, you are personally have to be present to run that business. A lot of our listener and in our community, people work hard, they have a lot of cash, or they have equity. They bought it 10, 12 years ago in Toronto for 200,000. That house is whatever you name it,
it's like $1 million star.
Yeah. So there is a lot of money sitting there, and what people start doing is that they start investing into a rental property. Right, as you know. So those are also considered as a commercial because you have a cash flow. So for instance, let's say if you have a $400,000 sitting in your equity and you want to utilize, you buy a duplex somewhere, 2 units, you're making $4,000 out of that $400,000, which was sitting idle in your property,
which is not really making a lot of interest to begin with, right?
Oh yeah, but one thing is that the rental properties don't appreciate that faster as compared to regular residential single family. But again, your cash flow is there and they're low maintenance. There are so many companies out there, they take care of property management services they provide. And again, as I mentioned, that we have one window operation, so they charge a little bit.
One-stop shop when we can refer you to property management.
So you don't even have to do nothing. They take care of your property because a lot of people have full-time jobs. They're nurses, they're doctors, and their account, they don't have time to take care of the tenant. Here the property management comes. They take percent between 10 to 13%, depend on what kind of services. They find the qualified tenants. They do
all the
repair,
work for
everything you name it, and you are receiving a check. Properties under your name. It's a
there you go. It's a done deal. You can go on vacation, and at least if somebody calls and say there's an issue with their plumbing, then you don't have to worry about that because the property manager is right there for you.
Again, it's with today's time, with internet and everything is so accessible to everybody that people are enjoying these features and making money, making cash flow on the side, while the money is sitting in the bank on the property doing nothing, right?
And we know that as I talk about in my other previous shows, is overall real estate is still definitely definitely sound good investment, right?
Absolutely.
In comparison to if you leave your money in the bank and it's just sitting there. I mean, you're not going to make even $10,000 every year, right? Whereas in 5 years you make $50K.
Absolutely.
You don't get that from the bank.
No, and plus your money is insured for not that big money is not even insured. So better to be a real estate, because real estate, again, end of the day is a solid investment.
Yes, it is.
We have an amazing city. It's the backbone of our country. It's a service industry. Our jobs is good. Our economy is good.
Yes.
It's not like,
it's not like the U.S. when they had definitely, about approximately almost 10 years ago.
Absolutely,
when they had the recession, right?
Yes,
the real estate market in the U.S. Went down, whereas Canada's real estate market at that time was actually booming.
Booming, absolutely. And then again, in real estate, everything comes within holding power. So for instance, that's why we always recommend that minimum investment goal or anything should be 5-year minimum.
Yes.
So then you don't think about it that where the market is going, what is happening. At least end of the 5-year, if let's say you bought that duplex or triplex or fourplex, you bought it. The tenants already paid so much of your mortgage in 5 years. So if the property goes up 1%, which never happened. Normally, we've been seeing 5 and 10 and 20%.
And that's the minimum. We're just giving you the very conservative minimum amount.
So minimum amount in 5 years, your property value gone up 5%. So you made $20,000 there. Your tenants already paid $20,000 to $25,000 on your mortgage. You made $50,000 in 5 years.
Yeah.
The money which was sitting in your property was not giving you nothing.
Exactly.
So again, real estate is amazing. Again, it just depends Again, location.
Exactly.
Right.
So since we're talking about the market, I'm going to let Azar wrap this up and
Sure.
summarize regarding purchasing commercial real estate, and then of course the topic in everybody's mind is what's happening with the real estate market. All right.
Okay, absolutely. So yeah, again, as we talk about leasing, what are the component, what are the process to lease? Again, there is business plan, financing, and other things. Then we talk about if you want to purchase. So there is a lot of other environmental and studies need to be. And again, it just depends what kind of business you want to start, and we are here to help. You guys decided, and again, one window operation. You come to us, and we'll make it happen for you.
There you go. So to all our listeners there, if you're thinking of investing or renting, leasing, give us a call. Every scenario is different, and every business is different as well. So, but the process does take a little longer compared to residential real estate. However, definitely the reason why it's also longer is we want to make sure that you are protected as well, right? So, I mean, our job as realtors is to protect you as a buyer, okay, or as a tenant, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. And then tomorrow, if your business is successful, who you are talking? You're talking about we are the one, and then we have done in the past, and there are successful businesses out there.
And the good thing is both Azar and I, we work for Remax, right? I mean, definitely it's the #1 brand there in real estate. So I mean, the reason why we're with Remax is to make sure people know, you know, we simply just join the best, right? So and I totally agree that. That's right.
They are going to be in the best people have.
Exactly. All right. So now let's talk quickly about the market before we go on a quick commercial break. So I've explained to this. We had a government announcement last April 20th that there is actually a foreign tax that was added by the government, which is 15% foreign tax. So therefore, with that announcement and all the anticipation, as I mentioned before, the psychological impact that happened was people, you know, buyers and sellers were starting to get nervous, and you know, everybody thought that the market will eventually crash. I mean, we've been hearing this market crash for like what, 10 years, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, again, what is happening in today's real estate market? As you mentioned, that whenever a government intervene and brings something, always people panic because again, it's a human nature that Big Brother is coming with the different laws, regulations, and again. But if you look at overall as a Toronto and GTA, as I said, we are a backbone of this country. We are over 7-8 million people live there entire. So it's a lot of people. And again, a lot of people need a lot of place to live.
That's right.
Place to live, kids are growing. Again, they have jobs. We have a stable jobs here.
Yes.
It's not like we are losing jobs. So again, an interest rate is also
it's the best that we've
it's
seen,
absolutely,
you know, in this country, right?
Absolutely. So end of the day, your mortgage payment is less than your rental amount. So there is no brainer that you don't own your property, because again, the principal residence, I always say, that is not an investment, that is your home. So you gotta pay somewhere. You're paying rent, why not have your own home?
Exactly.
Right? And enjoy the appreciation. Now the market, what happened is that back in March and April, as you know, we had a lack of inventory. So it's a simple economics, right? Supply and demand, right? Yeah.
So there was actually more, you know, buyers and less sellers.
Absolutely.
So therefore, what happened, that actually drove the market higher because you know, people were bidding.
Absolutely, because there is one house and there is 20 buyers. So what do you expect?
Azar and I will go to bidding wars like almost every day for different clients.
Exactly. And now it's other way around. Now we have 20 houses and one buyer. Buyers, we have the same buyers which we had it, but now we have more houses for sale. So more choices for the buyers.
So that's actually the other way around. So it's like now what we see in the market, it's almost like 50-50. There's 50% of the houses now are bidding, and majority of the time now it's being sold now at the market value price.
Absolutely.
You know, so and because of the fact that the buyers were holding up for a little bit, but you know, from what I've seen as well, and I'm pretty sure what you've seen as well, it's starting to pick up.
Oh yes, no, it is always going, because summer, if you see statistically, go back every year, this is a holiday time, it's not the buying time. So sometimes people think that, oh, July, August is the most busy. No, this is a very straight line time where only kids are off, people are out shopping, yes, but people are on holidays too.
That's right.
Right? So again, what we see again is that we have more houses for sale.
Yeah.
That's why it seems like market is slowing down or not. But no, we haven't seen any big price drop here.
Yeah.
We haven't seen. People are still buying. Houses are still selling.
Yes.
And if you go back 8 years ago, houses used to sit 35, 40 days
In the market,
on the
yeah.
market. You would go see the house. You would take your grandparents, your mom, dad. You show them again 2-3 times. You go. You put an offer and buy a house.
Yeah.
So we are going into that market
Again, yeah.
which is a real buying and selling market, where you have, as a buyer, opportunity to look at the house, feel it, make a home, and buy it.
Exactly.
As for the price, we are not going any down.
Yeah. So what Azar's saying is, in comparison to the percentage of increase of sales
Yeah.
of the prices of homes from a year ago, there's definitely still an increase. I mean,
yes.
even though if it did go down a little bit, it's still definitely in comparison to last year.
Oh yes,
It's
oh,
still
yes.
definitely
Still market
an increase.
is way up.
Yeah.
If, the people who sold in July 2016,
Yeah.
if you sell July 2017, in some areas you're still 15% up,
Yeah.
10%, 18% up.
So it's still a win-win.
Still
So
a
even if
win-win,
it went down
exactly.
10%, let's just say,
Yeah.
regardless, it's still
Yeah.
definitely
Oh yes, oh yes.
it's still definitely
yeah.
a higher return compared to last
Absolutely,
year.
because March, April was actually not actual market. That was just lack of inventory.
Yes.
That drives the prices so high. But now is the actual market where you have inventory, and still market is up from last year.
There you go. So right now we are going to go on another quick commercial break, and then we'll be back more again regarding commercial property with Property Talks with Gizelle Mirasol.
Property Talk. We'll be right back after some words from our friends. Are you selling your home or buying one? Gee, you need help fast. Call 416-684-6442. Talk about mortgages, real estate, and everything along that line? Gee, you gotta have assistance. Call direct. 416-684-6442. Still bothered by a lot of questions? You need G. Call her now. 416-684-6442. And look for G. Sell. Your reliable realtor. Her name is synonymous to acquiring your dream home fast. Selling? It's still her. G. Sell. Gizelle Mirasol of Remax Realty, Kingston Road, Ontario. Send your inquiries to GizelleMirasol@gmail.com. That's GizelleMirasol@gmail.com. Mula Bukang Liwayway hanggang Takip Siling, PinoyRadio.com. Inyong kapiling 24/7.
In entertaining the global Pinoy.
We go above and beyond.
On air everywhere. Listen in. Look at us. Now streaming live.
On the road and rising. Reaching more Filipinos abroad.
Ito ang Radyo ng Pilipino.
Across the nation, around the world.
Pinoy Radio. This time, it is everything and more.
You are listening to PinoyRadio.com. I love Filipino music.
Time for more informative discussions with our amazing speakers on Property Talk.
And welcome back again to Property Talks with Gizelle Mirasol. All right, so we've definitely talked about commercial. So right now, so just to ask Azar, what do you foresee the market that's going to happen here within the next year or so? Do you think that just to ease people's mind based on what we've been seeing, do you think that we're expecting a crash like what everybody's saying?
We've been thinking of that, or talking about the crash is for the longest time ever. What we as a professional can see is that it seems like it is going to be a straight line, which we've been talking about, because crash, as we said, and as everybody understand, that crash has to happen with financial crisis, because people gotta live here, and this is the city, right?
And I was telling people, most of the people who are buying, I mean, basically when that law came, when it comes to the foreign the tax, foreign tax, that's the 15% tax, that only applies to really 5% of the market, which are foreign buyers. 95% of the people are immigrants. I've noticed that people who came here a couple of years ago, and they're now investing into.
Absolutely, and in Vancouver, market is gone
starting,
back. They did the same thing a year ago, and Vancouver is now going back. So again, real estate is the safe investment. Again, it just depends on your goal, what you want, and end of the day, still we don't see any crash. And if it happen, maybe it's going to be a straight line.
Yeah.
Where still you're making money.
So it will plateau
Yeah,
pretty much, you know. So
absolutely,
I mean, even if it goes down a little bit, it
Yeah.
will plateau. But overall, real estate is an investment that will eventually go back up.
Oh yes, so it's already up from 2016. So because again we are still up from 2016 prices. So
Exactly.
real estate is a good investment overall.
which is fantastic. That's great. So now, what we are going to talk about is our famous celebrity homes.
Yeah.
And we have a celebrity here that, if you know, like, we are going to talk about actually Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Wow.
Bill Gates, Mr. Bill Gates, who's pretty much who pretty much have his Medina mansion, okay, and the States, which is pretty much called. There's about 25 of the home's most notable features in the home here. He currently has 24 bathrooms.
Wow.
Swimming pools is about 60 feet by 17 feet.
Wow.
Including a fossil motive floor and an underwater music system. Okay. Gates bought it only for about $60 million for the compound as well. But the home also includes a 2,500 square foot gym. Wow. It also has its own, pretty much as ordinary, if you say, it's almost like an LA Fitness. The house has a trampoline room with a 20-foot ceiling. As well, a dining room which is alone is already 1,000 square feet, which is larger than many of the one bedrooms that we've seen. So if you live in a condo, you know Bill Gates' dining room is definitely bigger than than your current home, right? He has a smart home feature as well. Of course, it's Bill Gates, right?
Gates,
so definitely, it's all the tech and all the lovely features that you can definitely add in your home. The home is also called an earth-sheltered house, meaning it's used for natural surroundings as it uses its natural surroundings as walls for temperature and to reduce heat loss. Okay,
wow.
And this is the best part. Guess how much his property tax is?
60 million. He bought it for
per year. Sorry, per year. How much do you think his property tax is for the year?
Maybe 300,000.
$1 million.
$1
million a year is his property tax. So that tells you how big his property is, right?
Wow.
So there you have it. Bill Gates, right?
Bill Gates.
If you want to have a home like Bill Gates, you can pretty much do whatever you like. So he has his own business. So if ever you do have your own business and you want to start off, right?
Yeah.
Like this lovely, there's definitely money in every type of businesses. And the most important thing, what we want you to know is you need to have that passion, okay? You have that passion, you have that dream. We live in Canada, celebrating 150 years in Canada. We have that dream to live here, and anything is possible. So if you want that business and if you will get it started, give us a call. And how do you contact us? Easiest way you can actually just contact me through my website, soldbyg.com, soldbyg.com. And, give us a call, send an email there or a request, or on Facebook, which is Gizelle Mirasol, Remax Realtor. Ask questions there. We do have, our own page. Of course, Azar as well has his own contact number. But give me a call. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me and Azar. And we'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you again.
Such a pleasure to have you today, Azar. Always a pleasure working with this guy. He's solid guy, one of the nicest guys that I've met. Right.
Thank you.
So it's definitely a pleasure working with him. Very patient as well, and and at the end of the day, we pretty much work at the same level, where what we want is to have your best interest. Best it's not always about the money. Of course, we're here. There is definitely financial gain for us, but at the end of the day, we want to help you and we want people to be happy. Okay.
Absolutely. And that's how our business is, referral and repeat business.
Exactly.
Because you are going to open tomorrow this Ryan's second restaurant. There we go. Who
are you going to call?
Absolutely.
Not Ghostbusters. Gizelle and Azar.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
All right.
Always a pleasure, Azar.
Thank you very much again for having me.
Thanks for coming here. And again, everybody, this is again another episode of Property Talks with Gizelle Mirasol. So we'll be back in another 2 weeks. So we'll see you guys pretty much on July 16th. Will be our next episode from 12 to 1. So again, this is Gizelle Mirasol from Property Talks. Your dream home awaits. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day, everybody.
Property Talk. Property Talk on PinoyRadio.com. Are you selling your home or buying one? Gee, you need help. Fast. Call 416-684-6442. Talk about mortgages, real estate, and everything along that line? Gee, you gotta have assistance. Call direct. 416-684-6442. Still bothered by a lot of questions? You need G. Call her now. 416-684-6442. And look for Gizelle, your reliable realtor. Her name is synonymous to acquiring your dream home fast. Selling? It's still her. Gizelle. Gizelle Mirasol of Remax Realty, Kingston Road, Ontario. Send your inquiries to GizelleMirasol at gmail.com. That's GizelleMirasol.